eggs again, then you probably shouldn't look at how these chickens or eggs are produced. They usually come from conditions like these. Factory farms where they're crammed 2 or 3 chickens to a cage. Cages that aren't even big enough for a chicken to fully turn around. Cages that are constantly rubbing against the chickens, causing feather loss and huge open wounds. Cages where chickens are forced to lay in their own excrement, contract diseases, and are slaughtered and end up on your dining room table. It's all pretty disgusting stuff. But now senators on Capitol Hill are debating ways to clean it up, or at least inject a little humanity into the chicken and egg industry. The United Egg Producers and the Humane Society have found a rare common agreement on new legislation that would require farmers to use larger cages for the egg-laying hens, cages that at least allow the hens to fully turn around. The new law would apply to all egg producers around the nation and would be implemented over the next 18 years, a more than reasonable time frame. But there are some on Capitol Hill who are unhappy with the law. One is a lobbying organization known as the Egg Farmers of America, a shadowy interest group that no one seems to know much about. The much larger and established group, the United Egg Producers, has accused the Egg Farmers of America of being a deceptive splitter group. As the Hill reports, bill supporters accuse egg farmers of being a front group for the pork and beef lobbies, which fear that the egg bill will set a precedent for pig pens and stalls for cattle. The Egg Farmers of America deny these allegations and argue that larger cages would mean burdensome costs for egg producers. The other opponent of less cruelty for hens is this guy, Congressman Steve King. Not only is King opposed to requiring larger cages, he's introduced an amendment to the Farm Bill that would deny states their right to restrict agricultural products made in any inhumane or unsanitary factory anywhere. The King Amendment is targeted at California, which passed a law banning eggs from hens confined to tiny cages from being sold within that state, even if those eggs were produced in compliance with the laws of other states. Congressman King argued there's no scientific evidence that hens are healthier in larger cages, and that he knows of no way to determine whether or not chickens are suffering. That's because Congressman King and the rest of the giant agribusiness lobby regard chickens as products and not as living things. But King is wrong. We're all part of the great web of life on this planet, from humans all the way down to chickens. And what we eat becomes a part of us. That means how chickens are treated in factory farms has a direct effect on how our body reacts when we eat those chickens. Several studies have shown that chickens that are laying eggs or slaughtered in stressful environments produce high levels of steroid hormones, known as adrenocortical secretions, as the result of the terror they feel when caged and before they die when they're slaughtered. These hormones remain in the animal's bloodstreams and thus in the meat that humans consume. Research shows that these hormones can trigger in people heart problems, impotence, and fatigue. Ancient humans knew about the adverse effects of killing animals in a stressful, inhumane way. It's where the kosher and halal laws came from, which require the killing of animals in a humane way to reduce their stress levels before slaughter, and also to drain the blood, which contains most of the stress hormones. Again, what we eat becomes part of us. Unfortunately today, this message has been lost. And in a world where giant agribusinesses run the show, the profit motive is placed well above not just the compassion for animals, but the health of human consumers. So now we're all eating mass-produced factory farm animals whose pain and fear fills their body with stress hormones, and, many scientists speculate, are doing a lot of harm to people who eat meat. Requiring larger cages is a step in the right direction, but we need to go further. We need to bring back compassionate family farming. And to do that, we need to enforce the Sherman Antitrust Act again, which would break up the giant agribusinesses that treat animals as products and humans as mere consumers, instead of realizing that all of us are living, breathing occupants of this beautiful world that we all share together. That's the big picture for tonight. For more information on the stories we covered, visit our websites at tomhartman.com, freespeech.org, and RT.com. Also check out our 2 YouTube channels. There are links at tomhartman.com. Also at tomhartman.com, you can check out all the different ways you can send us your feedback. We have blogs, we have message boards, there's a live chat room running 24/7.